Good evening, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. I'm Priscilla, and this is my buddy Heather.
Hi.
How is everyone tonight? So glad to have you here. For all of our new subscribers, and we actually have quite a few, we hope you'll join us in the chat. We love people in our chat room to participate. In fact, I even have a banner. So we love our chat room. Heather and I started this channel 3 years ago at the insistence of our guides so that we could share our experience with others so they wouldn't feel alone, as we were lucky enough to awaken at the same time, basically, during the pandemic. And it was very fortunate for us. And the guides decided that we needed to do this. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. It's all spiritual and for entertainment purposes only. So, Heather, my dear, you throw cards at the beginning of every show. And what do our lucky cards have to say today?
Well, today we're talking about us. We are the star seeds. And sometimes things that get in our way are our feelings of worthiness. We don't feel like we're worthy of being a star seed. And if you really think about what a star seed is and what they do, it can be very intimidating.
It's discombobulating.
Yeah.
And intense.
Right. Meanwhile, because we are star seeds, our spirits are just, now that's a yellow card, so you can't see it, but they're very, very, very powerful. And we're still trying to discover what those powers are. So a lot of us are still trying to journal and be creative with what we're learning and do all sorts of things. That's what, when it says write, it means being creative. And sometimes some of us go out and introduce ourselves to others, and sometimes we go out and we're writing. Sometimes people will write songs. It's whatever it is that makes them feel right about stuff. So it's their creation. But just the fact of our feeling not worthy, they're saying when you really don't feel worthy, what you need to do is contact. Now, when they're saying contact your inner being, contact your inner self, your inner child, everything you know. Contact your heart. Stop thinking with your brain, start thinking with your heart. And when you do all that contacting, and that's why it just says contact and doesn't give me much more of anything else, it's saying any kind of contact, whether you're meditating, whether you're journaling, whether you're being creative, whatever it is, you're trying to contact who you are in essence and everybody else in essence. And when you do that, you find that you are in a celestial type environment. You are
vibration.
Aware.
Hi, Zena.
Yep. She thinks somebody's outside the door, but she's wrong. Zena, come here. If she doesn't be quiet, I will mute us.
I'm sure she will in a minute. Well, thanks. So it's just basically go within.
Go within.
Go within, find your bliss.
Contacting within, without. Remember, we are all one. And when you contact everything that we are, you realize that you are worthy. You're what's the card they were saying? You don't need to worry about, that's what I said, being worthy. You are worthy. You wouldn't be doing this work if you weren't worthy.
Exactly.
So you are worthy.
And even if we were horrible people, we'd still be worthy because our soul is still beautiful, no matter what.
Right. Right. So it's important to stay in contact with your heart, stay in contact with the source, us, and all of us. So it makes a big difference for us.
Thanks, Heather. That's great. Yeah. Well, tonight we're going to talk about authenticity. Do you know what this picture is, Heather?
It looks like dandelion.
It is. Because
Okay,
dandelions to me are like the first sign of spring. You know what I mean?
it looks like the powder puff ones, ready to
But
go off.
just getting ready to blow. I just
Mhm.
love those. And okay, so let me take this down for a moment. Or do I need it? I can't remember. So we're going to talk about authenticity. Oh, yeah. This is the definition of authentic. Of undisputed origin and not a copy. Genuine. Made or done in the traditional or original way or in a way that faithfully resembles an original. Based on facts, accurate or reliable. In I can't say this, existentialist philosophy relating to or denoting an emotionally appropriate, significant, purposive, and responsible mode of human life. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Mhm.
Worthy of acceptance or belief as conforming to or based on fact. Here we get down to it. True to one's own personality, spirit, or character. Is sincere with no pretenses.
Mhm.
Being authentic means that you act in ways that show you your true, whole self without trying to please others. It's where your own thinking, feeling, acting, and communicating are congruent with no mixed signals.
And you've got to admit that a lot of us have a big trouble being authentic because we want to please.
As
Rather
empaths,
than
yes.
be who we are, we want to please somebody else and to let them think they know who we are.
Yeah,
So, which makes it difficult.
it does.
Mhm. Now, authenticity. This demands a high level of self-awareness, where authenticity is a choice you have, and it takes bravery and courage to live by that choice. More than you know.
Yeah.
And who you are results from your beliefs, thoughts, and ideas of the world. Unless you challenge popular opinion, you're going to be pulled in by the masses. In other words, you're sitting on that fence, and unless you really challenge popular opinion, you're going to go with the group because they're
Yeah.
heavier. You've got to know how you feel. And we all have an inner longing for social acceptance and deep-seated human need to be part of the tribe.
Hey, Tamer.
Mhm.
Welcome.
Hi.
True.
We fear showing our insecurities and being judged by others. That's why so many of us started out being people pleasers.
Yeah, true.
It's when you let go of the false beliefs that you are inadequate and understand and accept all aspects of yourself that you can start living your true, authentic self. Drop all that old stuff of trying to be what everybody else wants you to be. When you start accepting yourself as yourself, no matter what anybody else is saying, then you are your true, authentic self.
Takes some shadow work to get there.
It is.
A lot of shadow work to get there. At
A
least in
lot,
my
a
case,
lot of rewriting everything you have been taught.
that you've ever been taught.
Yeah.
True.
Now, the philosopher Rousseau believed that we are at our most authentic when we're in touch with our passionate self. And Nietzsche, that's what I wanted to say, Nietzsche, when we allow passion to blossom and then create a formal structure around it. So those are two ideas, two different philosophers, but they're pretty close to we need to be ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's true that personal fulfillment is what makes us feel at our most authentic. When you do something that you feel good about, then you feel like that was real.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Which makes understanding and connecting with your own purpose fundamental to living authentically. They go hand in hand.
Mhm.
Authenticity comes from knowing what's important to you and remaining true to those values in the face of external pressures and expectations to think and behave in a certain way. Basically, everything we've been taught since birth.
Mhm.
How to rewrite it.
Yep.
When you come from an authentic place, you're less likely to allow those external pressures to change who you truly are. Sometimes that's hard. This includes how you express yourself, who you connect with, and how you spend your time. It's difficult to define what authenticity looks like because everyone will express their authentic selves differently. Defining and measuring the characteristic has proven challenging, but ongoing research aims to pin down the components of authenticity and discover its connections to self esteem, goal achievement, coping skills, and an array of other psychological benefits.
So, how do researchers define authenticity? The concept is still debated today, but psychologists developed an authenticity inventory in 2000. It's comprised of 4 key factors. First one is self-awareness, knowledge of and trust in one's own motives, emotions, preferences, and abilities. The second is unbiased processing, clarity in evaluating your strengths and your weaknesses without denial or blame. Third one is behavior, acting in ways congruent with your own values and needs, even at the risk of criticism or rejection. Sometimes it's very hard to do that.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get clobbered. And the fourth one is relational orientation. Close relationships which inherently require openness and honesty. Those are hard to find too. So real authenticity is not easy. It takes a conscious and intentional effort to show up as the best version of yourself every single day.
Hell, that's not even easy. Some days you don't feel good. You don't feel up to it. But being authentic is more than just some fluffy feel good saying. It has a very practical application in our lives. People trust authenticity. Whether you're talking about business or even just your relationships, just ask yourself, who are you more likely to trust? The person or brand that looks, sounds, and acts like everybody else, or the person or brand that is unique and original? There's nothing admirable or relatable about the brand or person that's a carbon copy of everybody else. I've always had trouble with that. I've always liked the weirdos, the off kilter things. That's just for me.
You just have to be a rebel in some ways.
Yeah, you do. When you try to cater to everybody, people are going to perceive you as vanilla and fake. Because let's be real here, that's exactly what you will be if you're concealing your true self and putting out a message or persona that's the exact same as everybody else's.
Yep. And authenticity breeds loyalty. When you're authentic and when you stand for something you truly believe in, there are going to be a lot of people who resonate with who you are and what your message is. And there are also going to be a lot of people who don't.
Amen.
That's okay. You don't want it to. When you try to serve everyone, you end up serving nobody at all. I remember I used to be really good friends with a superintendent in the school. And he said he was liked by about 50% of the people in town and hated by about 50% of the town. He said, that means I must be doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So you don't want everybody to think. And it's especially true in business. Even though authenticity is going to turn people away from you or your brand, it's also going to create a strong sense of community and loyalty amongst the people who do resonate with you or your message.
That's true.
That's true. And it's true in life too. But in business, this loyalty is what insulates you from your competition. It's like the superintendent said, half of the people like him and half people don't. he knew he was doing a pretty good job because of that. But then he had this have people protecting him while this being saying, we want this instead.
Well, think about the things that you buy, like
Yeah.
the Amazon blackout. They're no longer loyal. They're not loyal to their customers anymore, so people aren't using them. Same thing with Target. People don't agree with their so-called ideas now, so they're gone.
And
I don't shop in Target anymore. I haven't shopped in Walmart in 20
yeah,
years.
Walmart, and Costco has gotten a good name for how they treat their
Exactly.
employees.
It just shows you what brand loyalty can be.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Hi, Beltane. Welcome to being. Glad you're here tonight. Authenticity is also required to be happy. You can't feel good about yourself if you go through life as an inauthentic version of yourself, because you're always going to feel like a fraud.
Mhm.
How would you like to spend every day worried that someone is going to expose you for something you're not? That's what it can feel like when you conceal who you truly are. And how many times have we had to conceal who we truly are from the people that are around us because we weren't like them? Not anymore.
And that's one of the benefits of this tribe, this group of people. You don't have to conceal who you are.
Exactly. That's the beauty of this group.
Mm-hmm.
No Target, no Walmart, no Amazon for me for years. Oh, right on, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's an awful strategy for life because everybody will view you as the cheap knockoff. It's also inauthentic by design. Trying to be somebody else is not trying to be you. Oh my God, every teenager needs to hear that. You have to come to terms with yourself and start expressing yourself as who you are. Life is too short to go through it not being who you are. Coincidentally enough, it's also the key to becoming successful in business and life, because people are going to love you for who you are. I
Exactly.
totally agree with that.
And there are lots of benefits to being authentic. You have stronger relationships. Authenticity allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, fostering genuine relationships built on trust and mutual respect. It increases trust. When you're authentic, people can see your genuine self, which builds trust and credibility. When you say what you really believe and what is true, you automatically get people who are ready to follow you and believe what you say. Self-acceptance and confidence. Embracing your true self, flaws and all, leads to greater self-acceptance and a stronger sense of confidence, which means that you really do need to forgive yourself if you've done something that you don't like, because you have to accept yourself.
Yeah.
Reduced stress and anxiety. Living authentically can reduce the stress and anxiety that comes with constantly trying to be someone you're not. Like, okay, what did I tell this person last time? Can I remember? So I need to stay on the same lie. That's not being authentic.
Nope.
Enhances happiness and fulfillment. When you live in alignment with your values and self-trust, your true self, you're more likely to experience happiness and fulfillment.
True.
That's true. Yep. Magnetic leadership. Authenticity is a pillar of magnetic leadership. Before you can convince anybody of anything, you must believe it in who you are and what you stand for. You can't convince somebody of something that you don't really believe in. Employee engagement, or just fellow workers or whatever. Authenticity is critical to helping employees stay engaged. Leaders who are authentic and genuine have been found to elicit a more positive response from better performance. Employees, which in turn encourages It encourages increased
I
customer.
don't know. Increase. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. I'm like, what? Okay. Employee engagement, is it up there? Okay. Okay. Increase customer retention. When you're an authentic in your interactions, customers feel a deeper connection and are more likely to become loyal supporters. So true. Yeah, be an individual. Authenticity allows you to express your true self, embrace your uniqueness, and honor your individuality. I'm really coming to dig that. I like just being me. The-
Exactly.
I
And
love it.
when you can be just you can be more creative and more effective.
I agree. I agree. Embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability is the cornerstone of authenticity, allowing you to show up as your true self without fear of judgment.
Mhm.
Aren't you just getting so over other people's judgment? I'm just, you be you, boo, because I'm going to do me.
I know when I was in the position that I was in, of course, I had all these laws that they had to make sure that they followed. But I finally got to where, okay, this is one way you can do it. I got to the point where I would say, as long as you meet these criteria, I don't care how you do it, make it your own. And
Yeah,
everything worked better that way than trying to do it my way or the
I
byway.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
The truth is, wait a minute. How to be authentic.
Mhm.
Being and becoming authentic is a difficult journey for most people. And the truth is, most people don't even really know how to be authentic. A lot of us were raised to believe we're supposed to think and act a certain way. And unfortunately, very few people step outside of this box. Just a minute. Tamer, when we get through with this, I want to talk about your requests because I think it's an excellent request. But let us go ahead and finish this first, okay? But thanks for that. Um,
If you're wondering how to be authentic, there are really three things that you must do. Authenticity requires a clear conscience. We all know the difference between right and wrong. So do what's right. It's incredibly, Zena, stop. It's incredibly important for developing. Come here. Come here. No, I may have to grab her. Anyway,
she says, you said no, and she went,
I know.
rumph.
Come here. Zena,
Grab
come.
her.
I got to get to the position where she can come here. Gotcha. Now you can be quiet.
Hi, Zena.
It's incredibly
Her
important
little sweater.
for developing your authentic self, being honest. And there can be no exceptions to this. If you treat people like crap and make poor decisions, you're going to feel like crap. And you shouldn't feel like crap. It's a lot easier to be authentic when you feel good about yourself. Part of feeling good about yourself is living with a clear conscience. If you always feel like you have to hide, or if you always feel guilty about the decisions you've made, presenting the most genuine and authentic version of yourself will not be possible.
You have to own your mistakes and fix them. You're human, which means you're going to make plenty of mistakes. Oh, I certainly have. There isn't
Me
a
too.
single person who is immune to making them. But making a mistake in itself is not the issue when it comes to authenticity. It's the inability to accept responsibility and take action to fix the mistake that's inauthentic. Making poor choices and pointing the finger at authenticity as the reason for acting like a clown is not authenticity. It's a shield to hide behind to avoid doing the hard work required to get better. So when you screw up, which you will, own it and fix it.
Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to leave that up. Or was it supposed to
Identify
be?
the core values that you stand for and live by them. The final thing that true authenticity requires is a set of values. The first reason being they give you something to stand for. Because if you're not sure what you stand for, or if you stand for nothing at all, is that real authenticity? Of course not. The second part of what makes these core values so important for authenticity isn't as obvious, and it's this. These core values will help hold you accountable and guide you towards making the best decisions. This is how you can continue to show up as your most authentic version of yourself. These values simultaneously act as a framework for what it looks like to be your most authentic self and tool to audit yourself on a daily basis. It helps you.
Yeah. So how can I nurture my own authenticity? Let me add that. Well, number one, self-awareness. Get into the habit of reflecting on events, meetings, when you read or watch things, etc. What is your perceived image of yourself and your views? Accept and acknowledge your imperfections, foibles, and insecurities. Understand what your embedded thinking model looks like, your values and beliefs, and then challenge your confirmation bias. Keep your mind in discovery mode. Expand the fishbowl and observe non judgmentally what is outside. We're always talking about how we need to look like from an eagle's point of view so that we're not caught up in our ego and our emotions so we can see it from a different point of view. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Keep your mind in discovery mode, expand the fishbowl, and observe non judgmentally what is outside. Be mindful of your thoughts and listen to your intuition. Do what your heart is telling you to do rather than your rational mind, your ego, your monkey mind, whatever you want to call it. Open mindedness is another thing. Although, as an authentic person, you live by a code of values and morals, listen to others' opinions in a curious and non judgmental way. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and be inquisitive about alternative views without feeling threatened. Boy, some people just don't get that. You got to meet people where they are. You have to be compassionate. We're all one, we're all part of each other. Each one of us, we're part of the next person. Excuse me?
I was going to say, it kind of reminds me of when I was in teaching. And we lived in a part of town where, and we had a meeting about this, because in school you were not supposed to swear. But they had an assembly for the teachers about this. At home, every other word that the kids heard was a swear word. To them, that's how you talked. And then telling them that they can't talk that way when they come to school was a fruitless
I bet.
endeavor. I mean,
Okay,
because that's the way everybody talks. That's the way they were brought up. They didn't see it as being wrong. So, like she was saying, when you're being open-minded and you have to think about how the other person is thinking, that's an example.
Right. Next is avoid conformity. Oh, I'm all for that. Think outside the box, beat that box up, explode out of the box. Our tendency to conform is subconscious and stems from our need to fit in with others, to avoid criticism and rejection. Feel comfortable with forming your own opinions and opposing views to others and embrace it. There are many truths. So true.
Exactly. Stop seeking validation. Let go of the need to prove yourself to others. True validation comes from the core of your being, not what everybody else is telling you.
Yeah, true.
It's what you know. Reflective time. We easily get stuck in left brain logic since we're taught to reason the world through logic alone. So you need to find time for silence and allow yourself to reconnect with nature. Being outdoors harmonizes your mind and body and energizes the soul. It helps you to connect with your creativity, emotions, and feelings, which are also part of who you are. When I was teaching, their stress was so much that if I didn't go camping, which I usually did at least twice a month, by doing that, I brought myself back down to being sane
Yeah.
because I was insane. It brought me back to being sane. So connecting with nature has so many benefits.
Oh, yeah.
You want to connect with purpose. Your purpose is your life's calling and is not something that can be found off the shelf or a problem to be solved in a day, but rather a learning and development process that evolves over time. Probably sometimes slow enough you don't realize it's happening.
True. That's for sure.
You first need to unlearn that the mission is not to keep busy doing things, but instead to be something. The challenge is to be patient, inquisitive, fearless, and open. It's not necessarily just doing things, it's take the time. Focus on what you care about rather than what you're passionate about. That often wanes over time. You know, you're gung ho for something right away, but it
Boy, that's a truth for me.
goes off,
Yeah.
and I don't care about that. But there are certain things that you really care about, and those things always will be there. The clue is often found in areas that make you upset. What have you come into this world to do? What is your legacy going to be?
Sorry, I just got a text I need to answer before they come knocking on the door.
Okay.
Just a second. I can't believe I had to do that. Authenticity is challenging yourself to become as great as you possibly can while standing firm in your beliefs and values. Sorry, I'm going to take this down. Your authentic self is made up of many different parts. It's your gender, your race, sexual orientation, and religious beliefs, but also includes other personality traits like communication style that make up who you are. We're living in an increasingly complex world with a constant demand for our attention, feeding us information that plays on our emotion, wanting us to react. Boy, is that the truth right now. Everything is a bomb out there right now. It just comes at you. Boom, 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 boom. So much better to ignore it.
Mhm.
By understanding ourselves and what makes us unique, we begin to trust our inner core so that we can rely on our own wisdom rather than blindly following others' thoughts and beliefs.
Exactly.
Whew. And that's what we all need to be doing right now. I have been working at being my authentic self. It's been a real interesting journey over the last year living on my own. And I mean, part of that time Olivia lived here, but it's been really interesting to see who I am as myself, all
Yep.
about myself. And it's fantastic. It's been a great experience. Some of it happy, some of it sad, but overall, I feel like I'm truly becoming my authentic self. And I hope to hell it doesn't take you guys to 72 years old to figure it out.
Well, it is wonderful to be able to discover who you are and who you're not,
And who
and,
you're not.
and what kinds of things you really need that you thought you didn't need, and what you really needed this. I'm glad I'm doing it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I was driving up in the foothills yesterday evening, and I parked by Horsetooth Reservoir, and I thought, damn, I wish I had a painting kit with me. And I'm like, what? I haven't painted since we lived together
Mm.
in Key West. I do have a little portable one. I just have to cut sheets of paper for it, and I thought, "I'm gonna start keeping that in my when I get my van so I can just stop and do a little watercolor." You know me, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no I've
Doesn't
only
matter.
painted that few months in Key West, but I bloody loved it. And last night, I was like, "That's one of the things I wanna do when I get my van is just stop wherever the heck I wanna stop and maybe just paint a little picture."
I like to keep my sketchbook with me.
I think that's a really smart idea. I think that's a great idea.
That
Wow.
and my journal.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We have a really full week this week. Friday, Valerie is gonna be here for the pink full moon. I can't remember it's in Libra, full moon in Libra. And then on Saturday, we have Gerald from Tarot Stash, who is an absolute hoot and adorable.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna be
saved my
here.
fan for him.
Good for you. I think my fan I might have I think I packed my fan.
Did you? Well,
I
he'll get
packed
to see
my
mine
fan.
this time.
Damn.
He saw yours last time.
He saw mine last time, so it's good you've got yours, that's
Yeah.
good enough. And then Sunday, that's Saturday at our usual time at 8 o'clock, and then Sunday, we're gonna be on Allie's channel, Heart and Soul Connected, and I believe that is at 5 p.m. Eastern, 3 Mountain.
I thought it was 2 that we were gonna be there.
No,
Or
it's
maybe no, that was last Monday.
3
Too many
Mountain.
shows.
I know, I know. That was the Wisdom Circle. It's always at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that, Beltane. She says, "Journal, binoculars, and fishing rod in my car at all times." I don't have the fishing rod. I
I
have
do.
my walking in your car? You don't have a car.
I don't have a car, but when I get one, which I will be getting this year.
Yay. So I have walking sticks. I have a whole bunch of crap in my car. Binoculars.
I even have a quote cane unquote that folds into a 3-prong seat. I use it as a cane, but you can just set it down
Oh,
and
that's
sit.
brilliant. Those are great to have.
Yeah.
Those are wonderful.
Yeah.
So I wanted to we had a comment by I think of a new person, Tamer Canpolat. Will you make a program about Gobekli Tepe, please? Like who built it and why? I think that's such a great idea. I would love to know that. I'm fascinated. And I
What is
believe
it? What Tepe?
Gobekli Tepe.
Oh, Quebecy.
Gobekli Tepe. You've seen it. You've seen programs on it.
Yeah.
You'll recognize it when you see it.
Well, I don't look at it. I just go.
No, but I mean, you'll recognize.
Where it's at.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
believe they've discovered one, if I'm not mistaken, that's even older than Gobekli Tepe. I'm not sure. And it's called something Tepe too. It's something else Tepe, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
And Tamer says the information on oh, well, let me post this. The information on Gobekli Tepe is so limited, it'd be great to channel some deeper information about the site reflecting the psychic's view. We agree 100%. Stay tuned, and Heather will.
If not next month and the month after. I don't think I've already decided for next month. So no
It
problem.
might be next month. That's
Might be next
brilliant. Then back on our subject, Clea says, truth is more important than my ego. Absolutely.
Yes.
Beltane says, LOL, I refuse to conform. You and me both, Beltane. I have.
Hugging trees, absolutely. But you know what? I had a path. Well, there were several paths that I would go out hiking on when I would go camping, and one of my favorite ones was you were deep into the woods, nowhere that was anything close, and most of the time people weren't on it. So if I wasn't visiting, they had 2 falls, and I like to go to the falls. But if I wasn't visiting it, I ended up taking naps sitting down against a particular rock. There would be an open area, but the rest of it was surrounded by trees. And for some reason, I felt it was safe there. I would actually fall asleep sitting there.
That's neat.
And leave my body. I
Wow.
never knew what time it was when I got back.
Wow.
But
No, Leah, I'm not near Grand Junction. I'm in Fort Collins, which is north of Denver, just straight up 25. Hi, Akila. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. Hi, Garnet.
and I'm in
Welcome.
Denver, but I don't know for how long. I know that I'm looking.
Yeah, I'll be leaving Fort Collins in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Beltane, I love that you carry waders in your car too. My husband would do that. Most definitely. He was a fly fisherman. Well, he was a fisherman, period. He didn't really care.
Yeah,
Any
couldn't catch anything the other way. He'd go and take down his fly rod, and I have that. I have that in my regular fishing rods.
I love it. Can I move near you girls? Well, I'm just getting ready to leave Fort Collins.
I'm
So
planning on staying in Denver, not Denver, but in Colorado and in the foothills. I know I've seen in my mind what I'm looking for. When I find it, I will get it. And after that, anybody who wants to visit, I'm more than welcome to. You're welcome.
I love it.
I thoroughly expect her to show up once in a while.
Oh, absolutely. You know I will.
Yeah.
I guess it's time to read some cards. What do you think? We've got
Sure.
time. And let's see what
So if you want a reading, let us know. Mini reading. And I used to announce what if you really want to know what cards I'm using for you, let me know. But I change with each person. It's whatever they tell me to use. Zena, be quiet.
Garnet says, wow, Meg going to Wales in a camper van, UK. Oh, how fun. Leah says, what states are you heading to? I'll be your chief painter and gardener, I think is what she means. Okay, please, on new job, will it be okay? Oh, you got a new job. Fantastic. Let me star that. Beltane would like cards. Yeah, Beltane, that's how I used to feel about fishing. I didn't care if I caught or not. It was just peaceful sitting there. And Garnet. So I've got
And you can actually,
Beltane and Garnet.
you kind of meditate when you're fishing anyway.
You really do, don't you?
Yeah, and you talk to whoever's with you. And I don't mean being human, but I have always talked to whoever's with me, even in grade school.
Okay, let me grab my cards.
Okay, new job. This one. Okay, what else? Whoa, okay.
Wow, throwing them around, are you?
Two of them came out at once.
So Leo wants to know, please on new job, will it be okay? Oh my God, I just threw them all on the floor. I think that's too many.
Too many.
If it was one or two, I'd keep it.
Yeah, I understand that.
I can't even say those names, Garnet. And I lived in the UK for 8 years. I was married to an Englishman, but we didn't spend a lot of time in Wales. And I never could read anything. Everything always has too many D's and N's and all kinds of weird letters.
Okay, let me take a look at. I know what that one. Okay, they're saying that just for the stay grounded. Okay, stay grounded in that, and it's going to be a healing thing for you because you will be appreciated. This is ancestors appreciation and healing, but you being there, they're going to appreciate your being there. So they want you to stay grounded. There's lots of support behind you for what you're doing, and just the fact that you're there is going to be healing you because they will appreciate you. And then I picked up from the dragon deck Luna, and what she's saying is that you just embrace yourself and what you're feeling and accept it. And if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help because they're all there to support you. Okay. So, what I'm getting is yes, your new job will be fine. Even something.
I got that too. And the funny thing is I pulled tarot cards and I never pulled tarot cards because so many other tarot readers that are so much better than me. But it was so good. And yes, I am definitely over 60. And thank you very much for saying that. I got the 6 of Cups.
Oh, I missed that.
I got the 6
cool.
of Cups.
Well, I bet you believe I am.
Harmony and happiness. The Emperor, which is, as far as I'm concerned, foundation, stable leader. It's going to be a stable job. And then the 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled. So I think that sounds great. And on the bottom of the deck was the 6 of Wands. So that is public recognition, victory, progress, achievement, praise, good news. So I think your new job is going to be fantastic.
And they're going to love you too.
Oh, yeah. What's not to love, right? Okay, I think I got you, Garnet. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, and next is Beltane. Then I'm going to
further on down, she said any changes upcoming in her finances.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, kick-ass reading. Okay, she wants this one. Okay, any changes upcoming in my finances? Hi, heavenly blessed honey. How are you, Sonia? Oh, the Prisoner. I've been to there. That is Port Marion. Port Marion. And it is so weird because it is just like the old Prisoner shows. Do you remember those? The Prisoner, the British TV show. Garnet's going there, and that is I don't know who Patricia McGinnis is, but I know where they filmed the series. I actually bought Port Marion pottery there because I loved Port Marion pottery. So that's very cool. Okay. You got it. We got time, Sonia. No worries. Okay. Any changes upcoming in my finances?
Okay. I'll explain that in a minute. Okay. I drew one because you just wanted to know if there was a change. And this one was the dragon one. And what I was reading, I was shuffling the Metatron deck and they said not this deck. So anyway, this is the dragon deck. And the one that comes is Lord Cthulhu. And the reason I laughed, I couldn't help it, was that when I first looked at it, what it says is the change is you. So you want to change in your finances, you're the one that's going to do it.
Use your power. I pulled the High Priestess on that one. And so to me, that is, it's up to you to manifest what it is that you want.
Yeah. So yes, if that's what you want, it's going to happen, but it's what you have to do. You are the change.
Buying a house stresses everybody out. Hang on a minute.
Who was next?
Hang on. Garnet's next.
Garnet. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pull the other cards because. It's so nice to have you guys all here tonight.
Yeah.
Tuesday night's a weird night. It's a weird time of the
Well,
month.
today anyway. Today was unusual. I'm not usually sleepy to where my eyes hurt and I just have to lay down. She'll tell you I'm either sick or dying or whatever to take a nap.
Isn't that
I don't do it. But I kind of think the way your husband used to think. Bed is for the dying or the sick. It's not for resting.
I don't believe that. I like resting. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's weird not to rest. So
Don't need that one. Okay.
but you do you, boo.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. I drew from the Fairy Oracle deck and also from the Metatron deck. And basically they're talking about there may be some things that you're going through now, but you have magical blessings to go ahead and do that. And part of what you're doing with their help is that you're creating something new. This is evolution, birthing the new card. So you're coming up with something that's new for you. And you're in the process of going through what you need to go through in order to get there. But you've got lots of support. Hope that helps.
Okay. I got this. I'm using the past life energy oracle as well as a couple other decks, but I got the self-doubt card. And this is telling me that, well, in conjunction with a card from Healing the Inner Child, which is asking, the inner child's asking for recognition. And these feelings of self-doubt come from this inner child that hasn't felt seen or heard. But you have the sovereignty. You are a sovereign being. Your ancestors are behind you. Lady Nada's behind you. She's asking you to expand your heart. Openness, liberation, let yourself love and be loved. Whatever this self-doubt is, it's not necessary. You have exactly what you need to be everything that you want to be.
Yeah.
Hope that makes sense.
Your way, you're getting there. You will get there.
Yes, you definitely will get there. Just let that self-doubt go. We all have it. We all suffer from it at one point or in our lives or not, but let it go.
Yeah.
Okay. Garnet says, I'm the same, tired all the time. Yeah, it's
the energy it's between the energy that the earth is trying to release and the energy that the sun is sending us all the time.
And all the bloody conjunctions out there. Wait till Friday's show and we'll talk about the conjunctions that are going on with Valerie being here, because it's a bloody mess out there, and it's no wonder we're all exhausted and tired and fed up.
Yeah, and we're getting bombarded.
And that also contributes to self-doubt. It makes you wonder if you're doing the right things when you feel like crap, but it's not really you that's creating the feeling like crap. It's everything that's coming in on us. What's up, Heather?
Oh, I'm just
okay. Sonia is next. If time allows, any messages for me, please and thank you. You got it.
Maybe that's why we get along so well. Leah said, yeah, because she's Scorpio and I'm Pisces.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what it says. So nice to be here.
Yes, it is.
Let's see what they say. Sonia, you ever called on St. Bridget? Just curious. Because she's here and she's saying, light your fire. I love that. Yeah, as a fish, she always let me be silly and free.
I drew 3 cards, and one of them, things are evolving. That is what Metatron is saying. Things are evolving. And part of that evolving is you need to go ahead and shine from within, because your light is so bright. And it's time. It's really time. And if you have a question about things and how things should be accepted, they're saying, look and listen to the music. This is all in green, so it's really hard to see. But they're saying, listen carefully to the music, whether it's the music from outside or the music from somebody's radio station, or somebody's driving by you and their radio is blaring, whatever. There are messages in the music for you that can lift your soul when you begin to feel a little bit down, to help you shine, because it's time. It's time for you to shine and let everybody see your light. Things are evolving for you, for everybody else, but they need that help of your shine to do it. Okay?
Lovely. Well, I pulled the Phobias card from the Past Life Energy Oracle. And to me, what that's saying, it's anxiety and overcoming fears. And one thing that you need to know is some of these phobias, if you have any, they're from a past life, and you can let those things go. And Miss Bridget, St. Bridget, whoops, did I get two? St. Bridget, I pulled. Inner fire, let your passion lead to your purpose. You are such a bright light. Make sure that you allow that inner fire of yours to grow and grow and grow, so that you can let yourself shine as you're meant to. And then
And
I got
the
the soul
singing music that you mentioned, that's one way to shine.
Then I got the soul card, and it says, the soul speaks to us through images, archetypes, and dreams. The soul is complete and perfect. It doesn't need guidance from the outside. It is our all-knowing essence and has unique language. Our soul holds all the wisdom and compassion cultivated over lifetimes. And in nature, it's unconditional love. You are full of unconditional love for yourself, for the collective, for the universe. Let that fire out. Let that light shine, the true essence of your soul. I hope that resonates, because I thought it was actually beautiful.
It is.
Okay. I have to figure this one out. I'm going to buy a house soon, and the process stresses me out so much. Just wondering which district is the best for my highest good. I will move to Miram or Silkulu, please and thanks. Okay, I'm going to use my, this is pretty much a yes or no question on those two things. I'm not going to use my cards. I'm going to use my dowsing rods for this one. So I'm going to ask for Tamer.
For her highest good is Miram.
Is Miram the district is that the best district for Miram's highest good?
Is secular clue.
Is Silkulu best for Tamer's highest good?
Okay, I will tell you, and I know you're getting.
Go ahead.
What I got in my head when I just looked at the two names, Miram is the one to go to. The other one I wasn't drawn to. I went ahead and used the pendulum. It said Miram, Not
Well, that's funny because I got the other.
oh, you got the opposite thing?
I got the opposite. Is
How about
Mira
that?
best for Tamer's highest good? Is Sekuklu best place for Tamer to move for his highest good? Yep.
Well, that tells you. I guess it doesn't matter which.
I guess it doesn't matter which because we're getting one of each.
Hmm.
Sorry for that confusion. I think you're good either way.
What you really want to look for is which, when you're looking at the houses, which one feels better to you? Which one does your heart call towards? It's not as much where it's at as to where you are most comfortable, where your heart is most comfortable.
And I just used my pendulum to ask if both districts were in their highest good, and I got a yes. So, like you say, it's up to how you feel about the place you pick. You pick the place based on how you feel and what it feels like
Right.
when you get there.
And which one do you feel has the better frequency for you?
Exactly.
So ask your heart.
St. Bridget, how do you? Oh, is that her? Oh, Bridget, Brigid. She's Celtic. Brigid. I think that's it, girl. That's
Okay.
everybody. There's there's another district, Karate, that I excluded. Is Karate a good district for
Is
highest good?
for her highest good. I would say that your inner feelings about not about excluding it, according to the pendulum, is right. It's a good thing you did.
I got I know it's not better than the other two districts.
That's what I got.
So yeah, there you go. All right, you guys. Like I said, thank you very much for being here. We love you all. You know how much we appreciate you. Go out and shine your light. Let
Yes.
your freak flag fly. Don't
And be
conform.
contrary. Be who you are, not what everybody else
You
wants.
do you, boo.
Is right. You do you,
You
boo.
do, boo. Have a wonderful week. Please join us again on Friday when Valerie from Illumination Portal will be here to talk to us about the pink full moon. And then again on Saturday when we have the delightful Gerald from Tarot Stash. And then on Sunday, we will be on Allie's channel. So thank you guys so much for being here. We love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Good night.